Vancouver business owners, today I'm going to show you how to properly structure your website so you're able to target the people looking for your services on Google. We're trying to optimize for the searchers within your industry. So let's say we're working with the remodeler. They would have what's called a keyword cluster, which is all the related keywords to remodeling. What we want to be doing is capturing as many of these searchers who are searching for your services or related keywords to your services that we possibly can. And we do that by targeting different intent within the keyword cluster. If we're looking at a remodeler, one thing they could be typing in is bathroom remodeling prices 2026, right? Their intent, what they're trying to find or try to get out of the search is a pricing guide probably, right? So Google's gonna be showing a pricing guide to that person, right? And so we might want to be making a pricing page to capture that intent. Versus if they're typing in something like bathroom remodeling near me, their intent is probably I'm trying to find a company to reach out to so I can get their services, right? And so we want to target that intent by creating maybe a service page or a location page if we're trying to build up geographic authority. First things first, your homepage. Your homepage should be targeting the primary keyword category, the primary keyword that the keyword cluster is all centered around. In this situation, it would be remodelers. We only want to be targeting one type of intent from the keyword cluster as a whole. The homepage has the most amount of page rank, so what we want to do is go after the most competitive keywords, which is why we're trying to go after the primary category of remodeler or remodeler near me. Underneath the homepage and attached to the homepage, you have the foundational pages. These are the pages like the about page, the contact page, and all the other pages needed for this website to actually function. These foundational pages aren't actually used to target certain keywords. Some of these pages do help out when it comes to building up authority, like your about page when you're talking about all your certifications. Google sees that and increases your ranking, but it's not actually used for targeting certain keywords. It's just used for building up the authority of your overall website. Landing pages is specifically created for people from advertisings to drop into the landing page, and it's a high conversion rate page. We are not using it for targeting, and usually what we want to do is actually make sure it's not indexed by Google. That way it's not hurting or bringing down our SEO, and it's not draining our link juice. Now, the three type of pages that we really care about when it comes to SEO and keyword targeting is your service pages. This is your remodeling bathroom page, your kitchen remodeling page, basement remodeling page, ADU page. These service pages are really useful for building up topical authority in the different services within your vertical. So if you're trying to go after something like bathroom remodel, what we can be doing is taking a ton of blogs, linking them over to the bathroom remodel service page, and we can be using that main page to target the primary keyword of bathroom remodel near me. This gives us massive leverage to go after these high intent and high traffic keywords. Location pages aren't the best when it comes to keyword targeting. If anything, it's really useful for building up geographic authority. So geographic authority is basically just telling Google, hey, I am relevant to this local searcher in this local area. So show my business, because we might be 2 miles away from the searcher. Versus if I have no local or geographic authority, what's going to end up happening a lot of the times is Google's going to be like, well, you're 5,000 miles away. I'm not going to show you. You're irrelevant, right? So that's the location pages. So it's usually not really targeting specific keywords a lot of the times. It's used for building up geographic authority. And then lastly, the blogs. These are amazing when it comes to actually targeting certain levels of intent, right? So when we're talking about the pricing page and the pricing intent, right, where someone was saying, you know, kitchen remodeling pricing near me, right? We would be building out a blog, right, to target that. So it might be something like kitchen remodel pricing 2026 Vancouver, Washington, right? And that might be the blog. And then we create the content around the blog to basically satisfy the searcher's search query, right? So if they're looking for the pricing, we want to give them the pricing on the page that would satisfy that query. But we can also use the blog to actually scale out the amount of keywords that we're targeting, right? So the blog's really good for scaling your SEO and scaling the amount of keywords we're targeting. So like one good way of doing that is to create a folder, right? So a folder might be alternative, right? So you might have, homepage / blog / alternative, right? And then alternatives is just all the different alternatives to your competitors, right? Because you're an alternative to a competitor, right? Let's say you're in restoration. Someone like Paul Davis gets a bunch of search traffic. So people directly searching in Paul Davis. But also, these people are trying to do research on the brand and find competitors to the brand. So they might say something like Paul Davis alternatives, right? If you have a blog page about under blog / alternative / Paul Davis, right? And you build that blog around why you're a better fit than Paul Davis for these certain people for restorations, right? And if you're able to satisfy the search query and actually convince them that you're a better fit, that keyword is gonna get a ton of ranking and generate a bunch of middle of funnel leads. And this is one of the most effective ways to actually target middle of funnel leads, because the fact that this is the inflection point between middle of funnel and bottom of funnel is when they're looking at alternatives.